It's looking a bit empty this morning, down on the pond. I wonder where all the birds have gone. There's some. Looks like they're headed towards the bird feeder. There's more. Where could they all be going? I should have guessed. They're going to see Harold. Harold Eve, the Pied Piper of Ferrymoor Flash. The birds all seem to know when H is doing his rounds. He feeds them all, big and small. He makes sure there's plenty of seed for the smaller birds.
Full tip top. Plenty in that.
Here he is, topping it up for him. All
All
part of his daily routine.
Apple don't fall, diced apple, seed don't fall. Suet block filled up, and the fat ball feeder, all looking well.
Another gorgeous and grimy sunrise. Looks like the start of a beautiful day. Here comes H, dishing up breakfast for the birds. Look at these poses, proper little film stars. No matter what the weather throws at us, we'll find H down there most days, looking after his flock. The worst time for the birds is in the winter, when the ground and sometimes the pond gets frozen over. Food can be pretty scarce at times like this. If it wasn't for Harold and a few of the other regulars who feed them, some of these poor buggers would starve to death. Remember this little beauty, the snow goose? She came down to stay with us for a few months, a couple of years ago. I must show you this scene. Here's Big Sid the swan, skating on thin ice. Just watch, see what he does next. Bit slippery, trying to walk on this. Let's try something else. And there he goes. Just look at that. It's like he were waiting for me to turn up with a camera, just to film him doing this. What a beautiful creature to watch in flight. Look at him go, all the way around the island, halfway around the pond. I never imagined I'd see anything like this in Grimy. Majestic, beautiful, preparing to land, bit of a skid, overshot the runway, but down safely. He's pleased with his sen, and so he should be. Well done to Big Sid the swan. He's even got a celebratory victory wave for us. Snow and ice and freezing temperatures, rain, wind, whatever the weather, you'll find Harold down here looking after his birds. There's little Billy No Mates, bless him. He's got lost in that scrum. There he is. He's got some food. Billy doesn't need much. He's only little. Harold always makes sure that they get their rations, especially the smaller ones, like Billy. Them big birds can be bullies at times. There's a pecking order on this pond, and we know who's at the top of it. It's Big Sid. Them geese can be greedy, aggressive buggers at times. They'll even snatch the food out of the other birds' mouths. Big Sid soon puts them in their place. Chases them all round the pond. Look at him go. Who's the boss? Sid's the boss. Now bugger off and behave yourselves. Nobody messes with the big bird. This is Scylla, the new female swan. The original female died suddenly just after Christmas. It was a big shock to us all, more so for Big Sid and Little Sid the Cygnet. Big Sid went missing off the pond for a few days, then he turned up with her. That's nature for you. I read somewhere that the yellow leg ring indicates that she was originally from Lincolnshire. Looks like she's a grimy bird now. The swan family, in happier times. Not so long ago. Just look at young Sid. He's as big as the geese now, exercising his wings, getting ready to fly away when the time comes. Things can change so quickly around here. Here today, gone tomorrow, sort of thing. The birds fly in, they fly out. Some die, get picked off by predators, or die naturally. We think Sid's mum died of natural causes, or perhaps she froze to death during that last cold spell we had. Nature is wonderful, but it can also be cruel. Harold's making his way around the pond to the next feeding station. This lot are rushing after him. They know which side the bread's buttered. Hey up, what's that noise? What could it be? Well, there's only one thing it could be. Little Billy No Mates. A proper little character. Loved by everybody that knew him. I've never heard aught like it from any other duck. That's Billy's quack, and that's a normal duck's quack. Most times you would hear Billy before you'd see him. Sadly, poor little Billy died at the end of March. He was a bit of a character, and we all loved him. So I've put this selection of scenes together in memory of our Billy. Everybody knew that Billy had a deformed right leg. It made him hop on land and swim in a zigzag fashion in the water. Watch out, Billy's about. Billy's disability never stopped him getting around the pond and doing whatever he wanted to do. Off he goes. He knows that Harold's arrived with his breakfast. Billy sometimes joined in with the other ducks, just not very often, which is why we call him Billy No Mates. There was this other duck who lived down on the pond around the same time as Billy. For obvious reasons, I called him Snowy. Snowy was about the same size and shape as Billy, and sometimes they'd knock about together. Here they are, being fed by one of the regular feeders who comes down to the pond. Snowy's legs were okay, and he could fly as well. Here he is, flying in from one side of the pond to the other. We think that Billy and Snowy were somebody's pet dogs, and they just got fed up of them and brought them down to the pond. Mind you, as we've just seen, Snowy could well have flown here. Whereas Billy, I never did see him fly, although I did see him try. There he goes, flapping his wings, but failing to take off. Good old Billy. He reminds me of Orville the duck. I wish I could fly, but he can't. Never mind, Billy. We love you just the way you are. It was early March when I filmed this down the pond. There's Billy swimming over near the bank, and there's Scylla the swan and a coot. Billy swims by and I'm concentrating on the swan, following her. A few seconds later, Scylla swims round the corner and there we see Billy lying dead in the water. She goes over to Billy, nudges him, prods him, as if trying to wake him up. She shakes him and manages to revive him. Then she grabs him by its scruff at neck, and then it looks like she's trying to drown him. I don't know what's going on there. Poor Billy's confused and tries to escape. Billy gets away. She doesn't chase after him or attack him. I don't think she meant to do Billy any harm. Perhaps that's what she had to do, to save him. Billy swims away and keeps ducking his head under water, wake himself up. Poor bugger don't know what's happened. This took place in early March, about 3 weeks before he died. Snowy went missing around the same time. Nobody knows what happened to him. Whatever happened, we're gonna miss them both. But, as they say, life goes on. We're back with Harold, doing his rounds. I think it's great that local folk donate money and food to take care of these lovely birds.
Come on, guys.
In case you might be wondering, all these birds are quite capable of feeding themselves. And that's what they do. When they're not getting food from Harold or any of the other regulars that feed them, they feed themselves.
Here, stop bullying me.
We all know that the geese can be bullies, especially when it comes to scrabbling for food. But Big Sid can be the biggest bully of all, especially when them geese get his gander up.
You're better than you. No. Here.
H is having to play the referee and keep them apart.
Get. Bugger off. Come on,
But Big Sid keeps carrying on doing what he wants. Who's gonna stop him? Not me. He likes to get his own way, does Big Sid. And there ain't nobody gonna argue with him.
Right, I'm going before I've got no left for front.
Harold knows how to deal with him.
Don't go up there, pal, he'll have the... That's it, stop down here.
H is away to feed the birds further along the pond. The birds always seem to know when someone's arriving with food. Look at them go. Whether it's Harold or any of the other regular feeders, the birds just seem to know when they're on the way. There's always some interesting stuff happening down here. You just need to watch, listen and wait. Look at this and tell me what you can see. I'll freeze the frame and make it easier for you. Yep, it's a fox. He can't be hungry or he'd be attacking them birds. In fact, he looks a bit sleepy. You see all sorts down here. Never a dull moment. I'll leave you now with some wonderful scenes of the birds being fed on different days by different folk. Enjoy the birds of Ferrymoor Flash. Harold's away home now to get his own breakfast. All I can say is it's a good job them birds don't know where he lives, or he'd have a house full. See you tomorrow morning, H. A big thank you to Harold and everybody else who helps out down on the pond. It's a wonderful place. Let's keep it that way. Thanks to Ray Dennis for litter picking round the pond and other parts of the village. He does a great job, but we'd all prefer it if you just cleaned up after yourselves. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed it, please like and share it on all your social networks. Thanks again.